Good morning, children. Welcome to your online English class. In today's class, let's discuss verbs, which are action or doing words. Let us begin today's class by asking a question. What are verbs? Verbs or words are a part of speech which can express or show action. For example, read, write, run, jump, dance, bake, sleep, fight, and laugh too. You have learned a lot about verbs in your previous classes. Today's class, let's discuss in detail about verbs of doing and verbs of being. First, let's see verbs of doing with some examples. My first example is Radhika is driving a car. In this sentence, driving is doing verb, which is happening at the moment. My second example is Sunil is sleeping. In this sentence, sleeping is a doing verb, which is happening at the moment. So, now let's move on to
Children, now let's understand doing verbs using this picture of a dog. Now I'm going to use this dog in several sentences, each of which will contain a verb, because all sentences contain verbs. So I'm going to write a couple of sentences about the dog. Here we go. So first, the dog barks. The next sentence, the dog runs. And my third sentence, the dog sleeps. So now, in this sentence, barks, runs, sleeps. All these are doing verbs. Each of these words are doing verbs. Each one of them is an action. So this is the first thing that verbs can do. Verbs can show action in sentences. In fact, all sentences contains verbs. I hope you're clear now. Now let's move on to the next example.
Now let's move on to being verbs. Being verbs tells us about a person or a thing is in what condition, or it expresses the state of being. Now let's see being verbs with some examples.
Students, now let's understand being verbs using these 4 sentences. So I have 4 examples here. Let's have a look at the first example. Jamie was curious. In the sentence, was is a being verb because it expresses the state of being. So my next example is owl is a wise bird. In the sentence, is a being verb. The next sentence, I am a smart child. In the sentence, am is a being verb. Excuse me. In my last example, they were asleep. In the sentence, were is a being verb. So the words like was, is, am, were. these words are being verbs. These are called being verbs. So now I hope you understand the difference between doing verbs and being verbs. So words like bark, run, sleep, they express an action. So these are called doing verbs. And words like was, is, am, were, all these words express the state of being, and these words are called being verbs. I hope now you understand.
Children, I hope now you understood verbs of doing and verbs of being. Now that's all for today. Let's see in the next class. Till then, happy learning.